Hello again. Until this summer, one of the most noticeable features of the judicial system in Britain has been the glacial speed at which it crawls along. This, together with the absurdly lenient sentences often doled out to convicted criminals, has for many years been a defining characteristic of the legal process in this country. Because this has been almost universal, we all took it for granted. One would read of a man arrested for some brutal assault or murder, and then nothing more would be heard of the matter for a year or more. It was something we took for granted. That and the rap on the knuckles in the form of probation or community service for offences which many of us would rather see dealt with by the application of the cat o' nine tails. All this changed 3 months ago at the end of July. It was suddenly discovered that the wheels of justice could actually turn a great deal faster than they had previously been doing, and that it was perfectly possible to inflict savage sentences for fairly trifling offences. This revolution in the criminal justice system, with the courts suddenly working at breakneck speed and sending people to prison within a day or two of their being arrested instead of a year or so later, was a political decision in response to a direct order from newly elected Prime Minister Keir Starmer. We are still seeing the effects of this acceleration of the judicial process. On Friday, a man was arrested for contempt of court, and today he was sent to prison for 18 months. Now that's speedy justice and no mistake. The only slight problem is that this new streamlined process seems only to operate where those arrested are perceived by the government or police to belong to the far right. For everybody else, the wheels of justice are moving at their usual maddeningly leisurely and slowly pace. Take the men who were filmed attacking a female police officer and breaking her nose at Manchester Airport on July the 23rd. In their case, matters are moving very slowly. The police passed a file on the case to the Crown Prosecution Service in August, and there's no word yet on a decision 2 months later. But then those suspects were of Pakistani heritage, and seeing them whisked off to prison might cause ill feeling in the Muslim community. Far better to let that case die a quiet death. The feeling that many people have is that the police and judiciary, urged on by Labour politicians, are now readier to move fast and hard to take down people whose views on things such as immigration and race relations do not align with what is regarded as the correct narrative. Such people are seen as dangerous troublemakers, and by sending a few of them to prison with great speed and harsh sentences, it is thought that it might act to discourage others with similar views from expressing them openly. There is a problem with this approach, though, and it is one which should worry everybody, even those who are politically on the left and were glad to see Tommy Robinson imprisoned. It is this. The sudden rapidity of justice which began with the rioting in the wake of the Southport murders is a direct result of political influence in the operation of the police and judiciary. This is bad precedent, for now that it has been done once by a Labour government and nobody objecting to it, then sure as God made little apples, it will happen again. Perhaps next time with a Conservative government determined to crack down on what they see as left-wing rabble-rousers. Keir Starmer has let a malevolent genie out of the bottle by his meddling, and I can see that this is likely to cause a lot of trouble in the future.